439, we can generate the outside, the inside, and the center, and then the rest of the geometry will be part of another circular pattern. So let's go ahead and get our sketch open. This is in metric as well, so part, millimeters, grams, and seconds, and it's about time to make a template so that I don't have to do that every time. So we'll draw our 3 circles and set the dimension. We have 154, which will be the first one to scale, 122, and then across the center we have a diameter of 50. Okay, so our lines from here out are going to be, looks to be from the center out and then 30 degrees across. So that being the case, I just want to make sure that I don't pick up a tangency, that I end up with the geometry. Probably will need a center line at least at this point. And then I can just go ahead and mirror that over. So select, Control, Select. And because of the symmetry across the center line, we only need the 30. And then our 2 hole locations are going to be set to equal. And for geometry, let's see, 30, 30, and 30 would be 90, so I can go ahead and use this one. I could draw the other center line in, but I want to bring up the vertices again. So as long as I go to the vertex and then the 2 endpoints, so center vertex and then the outer 2 parts of the angle, that will give me the same as drawing those center lines. Oh, and had 30 on the brain, so we'll go back and change those to 12. Okay, so that gives us our shapes. We need a rectangle, so I'm going to go with the 3-point center rectangle, and we'll pick a location and drag that out. Okay, so if I were to make, let's see, make that vertical and that horizontal, it didn't go coincident, so we'll apply the coincident. And let's see, you got the selections. Let's make sure we can get a dimension, 12, and then they're doing 6 millimeters. Okay, so 6 millimeters from the midpoint, so actually I didn't need that coincident, I needed coincident to the midpoint. So let's see if that was the right one. Alright, so to get to 6 millimeters, put a point at the midpoint, and then I'll just go ahead and make that coincident. Alright, and so it's free to travel along that edge. So the 45 degrees should already be in there. But our location, I think we're just going to have to put in the center line, mark that the 45 degrees, and then we'll make it coincident. Alright, so that gives us our geometry. We're going to pick all of the elements that we need for the pattern. So I'm just control selecting. Alright, and then because our pattern originates at the origin this time, we have 4 equally spaced. Let's go ahead and dimension the angular spacing and see what that gives us. Alright, so almost and see how that's free to move. So let's find a couple of easy pieces of geometry to force into the relations. So if I go coincident and coincident, that gives me the quickest view. Alright, so if I leave that, then my selection, I could go ahead and trim these out, make these center lines, split lines, do all of those, but realistically I can leave this, and it does require a little bit more selection, so the trade-off is I don't have to trim, but I do have to manage my features. So in the contour, let's go back in, pick that, that, and that, and I have the same net result as if I'd trimmed all those out, and instead of using the contours and regions, just had a standard boss extrude. Okay, so we'll save that. $39, and good.